All right, this is the real me. This is the real me. So rock with me now. What is poppin', everybody? It is your girl, Iman Emily, and I'm back with another video. First disclaimer, I want to just talk about the appearance. I'm coming at you live, very humble with the appearance, and I know my hair looks crazy, but I don't care. I really don't. Like, I genuinely just don't care. I don't know what it is, but I feel like vanity recently for me in the past year has been just the least of my worries. Like, yes, I still like to get my nails done and toes done, eyebrows, period. But like, I can't even tell you guys like the last time I've taken like pictures of myself. Like, I used to be that girl that used to get ready for nothing and take pictures of my room. And now I'm just like, I don't even care. But that's like a new confidence. Like, I just, you know, like before it was serious. It was like, I'm taking pictures to like feel myself and like get validation. But like now it's like, today I wanted to talk about money. Some people are blessed enough to not have had humbling financial moments in their life because they grew up in money. Like, generational wealth is a crazy thing that, you know, people just grow up in. Never have to worry about money or the stresses of money, not being able to pay a bill, not being able to eat. This day and age now, this economy, you could work a full-time job and still not be able to like sustain, like not be able to sustain yourself at the minimum, which is insane. People that have full-time jobs, a degree, and they still can't self-sustain themselves. And I think that's a freaking like, that is cruelty. I wanted to talk about this topic because it was something my brother and I were also talking about, and just something I feel like, I swear, like God has highlighted to me this past week regarding just certain situations, and just making me realize like how blessed I am and how many of us are, because we're always going to go through trials and tribulations in this life, right? And it's not for nothing, and everybody has a different blueprint, and we can't compare our situations to the next. Stressing about things that are not even reality is horrible, and it will be detrimental to your mental health and even just to progress, because you're so worried about the next thing that is not even reality, like the next negative like thought that you're having. So one of the things I want to say is growing up, I've been working since I was 16 years old. I'm gonna do a little story time and then kind of get into like what my thought process has been regarding money. So I've been working since the age of 16 years old, and my parents growing up, like, not to not tell too much of my situation, but money hasn't always been like a solid foundation in my household. Like, I think a lot of people can agree with that. Like, money's always been, it hasn't always been, I think, and I thank God, like, we're in such a bad, well, my parents, I'm grown, but I still live at home. Anyways, mid-high school, you know, everyone's starting to get their license or like their permit, and everyone's like starting to get a car and like drive to school. Like, that was that thing, right? Like, I don't know. I went to a really rich high school too, so yeah. At the time when I was 16 years old, it was kind of like my parents told me, if you want to drive, you want a car, you're gonna have to work and pay for your car insurance and, you know, your car payments. Fair. I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, well, I know my parents' situation right now, and also too, if this is something that I want and that's gonna be for me paying for it doesn't sound like an issue. I think it was a fair trade, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people in my area, like I said, I went to a rich high school. At the time, you know, their parents were buying their cars and their parents were paying for their gas and their insurance. Like, it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, the kids were literally getting car keys and like going on about their day, you know what I mean? They weren't thinking about like paying no type of car bill. And I really feel like it's like grown me and shaped me to learn so much of the value of the dollar, and I'm very thankful for that and where I am today and like how I look at money. But I think there were certain moments when I was younger, and this one moment, without getting too much into like my business, where I had a time where like it was like 18, 19, and I didn't have a job. It wasn't like I got fired. Like, I really don't remember. I think I quit one place, worked at another, hated that place, quit, and then I didn't have a backup. So your girl didn't have income coming in. And I remember bills were paid, right? Bills were paid, but I didn't have enough money for gas. So I asked, and the answer that I got back was more than I expected. It was like I still got gas money, but it was just a hard pill to swallow from that answer. And ever since then, I never ever asked for anything. But yeah, long story short, that was like the situation. And so growing up, I've always just been like, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I'm gonna work hard for my money, make sure my bills are paid, and just figure it out. And I've never asked, like, and I don't think it should be like that. I think, yes, work hard. Like, you have obligations, responsibilities, you got bills, work to sustain yourself. But I think there's gonna be times, and there has been times too, where like either you or like a close friend or a family member, they're gonna go through times where, or honestly, God forbid, like I wouldn't want to wish this on anybody, but I've seen it growing up where money's kind of like tight, and you need, like, that person might need like help. And I just feel like we live in such a day and age where money is more about boasting and buying the most ridiculous things rather than helping your friend, helping your family member, helping your neighbor. Like, there's really people going out here through it, you know what I mean? Rich people, not all of them, they're always like the first to say like, oh, you're broke and da da da, and like pretty much just waving and flashing their money in people's faces, but will be the last ones to ever extend like $100 to someone. Like, it's just greed, it's disgusting. And I just feel like we should be more open to helping others in need, even if you don't have much. Like, yo, I feel like this week, so much has happened. This past week, I just got like, and I thank God for this because it made me realize like, wow, girl, like, you think your situation's tough when you have a roof over your head, you have food on the table, you have clothes on your back, you have your health, you have your family, you have community. Like, those are the biggest blessings. All right, quick little story time, because this happened, like I said, all of this is happening this past week, right? Just like me being in my head and thinking too much about certain things that are out of my hands and that aren't even like a thing, right? Be careful of what you say too out loud, guys, because the power of life and death are at the tongue. So what you say out loud has so much manifestation of your outcome, like for real. So just be wary of that. So tell me how this past week, right? I work in the corporate building and we have a receptionist on our floor. And one day it was raining as we were all leaving. We like, when I tell you, when 5 o'clock come around, nobody plays like that. Them elevators be filled. Them elevators be filled at 4:55. So I'm in the elevator and one of the ladies that work on the same floor as me, she's like an accountant. I don't know why I said that, but she rushes, like I get into the elevator, then she rushes and like comes in with me, but holds the door open. She's like, oh, like, sweetie, I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for, we'll call her Rebecca. Rebecca's a receptionist on our floor. I'm like, yeah, like not a problem. Like, I really wasn't stressing it. And Rebecca was like doing her thing, like shutting down, like turning off all the TVs and locking doors, all that. Basically, she said to me, like, yeah, I want to take her home today since it's raining, because she walks to work. And I like look at her and I'm like, oh, Rebecca. And she was just like, yeah, like she's like my daughter, she's so sweet. And Rebecca's really sweet. Like, Rebecca is so soft spoken, really sweet girl, love her. But she was saying this and I was just like, really? And she was like, yeah, she walks over an hour home to and from work every day. And you know, she has her apartment, so like that's where like all her money's going towards. And I'm just like, and I'm pretty sure Rebecca has roommates, because you can't live down here without roommates unless you're freaking like rich. And it just broke my heart because I was like, damn, like I'm stressing about things that aren't even like real. It's just like things that like I feel like could happen just because of whatever situations I'm in right now. And she's going through that. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, if I had like $10,000, I would give it to her, because she's so sweet. She's so much more deserving than I am. And like as I'm driving, like just throughout my week, I was getting like highlighted, like I would just notice like, oh wow, like that person, they're on the road with their sign asking for money or food because they're hungry. Or there's people that I just like randomly would look as I'm driving, like turn my head, and I've seen people laying in the grass with like their backpacks and belongings, and it's crazy. And then also too, just to put this isn't as like horrible because, you know, thank God, you know, she has a job and she has a place she's living, but it just goes to show like even the people that might be in the same vicinity as you are going through so much more than you are, and they're still like the happiest person. And it's just like, Iman, you're gonna be okay. Like you are gonna be okay. Like don't ever think your situation, don't let doubt and fear wreck you, because there are people going through so much more worse. I just thought about it. I'm like, money is so stupid. Like it is so stupid to ever stress about. I feel like if it's not money, it's gonna be something else that you're worrying about, right? And I just think your worries are so they really trample on progression in your mental health and people's stresses in this economy too. If any of you, or even myself, if we ever get blessed with like an abundant amount of money, like let's not be so greedy to keep it, but to help those around us in any shape or fashion. Even now, like giving your time is like so valuable. Money is stupid, but if I had a lot of it, I would really, really, really give back. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great week ahead. I'm literally like, the end of July has been a lot, and there's so much I need to like update and say, but we'll get there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sorry for the appearance. My hair is literally like straw.
Let me get that.